Welcome everyone, my name is Rick. This is It's All For You Demon, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Today, we are going to sidestep Kiss for the moment and focus on the fun of the macabre, the fun of movies, and the fun of this man, Stephen King. In 1974, Stephen King wrote a short story called Sometimes They Come Back. That story was later republished in a collection of short stories called The Night Shift in 1978. And in 1991, Sometimes They Come Back was made into a feature film. Sometimes They Come Back starred Tim Matheson and Robert Russler, who is also known for his roles in Weird Science, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, but in my heart will always be known as Dagger from Thrashin'. Sometimes They Come Back was the story of a high school teacher named Jim Norman, who had returned to his hometown to teach, however was haunted by tragic events and bullies from his past. The high school that Jim Norman taught at is right here. And as you can see from this screenshot, the trees have grown since 1991. However, this is the school that Jim Norman taught at, and sometimes they come back. One of the pivotal scenes in the film is when teacher Jim Norman gets confronted by current day bully Chip Conway, or the Chipster.
Told Coach I have an F coming. He suspended me. Well, maybe the message will get through to you.
And judging by these screenshots, there has been some additions to the school. But you can see in the far right, Jim Norman exiting the school about 4 windows away from that main entrance. And the main entrance today is currently blocked by those trees, but if you count 4 windows over, it would approximately be the stairs to the left. And then Jim Norman comes down these stairs on this hill to where his van is parked, approximately here. Now again, I think there has been some additions to this school since 1991, as this barricaded wall has been put up and this parking lot added. But from what I can match up, he came down those stairs to this parking lot, and his van would have been parked about here. It's pretty cool to think that a little bit of movie magic took place right here, and a pure 80s horror movie confrontation took place right in this parking lot. And how I was mentioning that I believe there has been some additions added to the school, you can see this top of this building above Jim's van. It is now being blocked by this building, but the top of that building still exists. And there is the top of that building that would have been visible right behind Jim Norman's van. The brick building, the blue top to the roof, still exist to this day. Now, when Jim and his family are first moving to town, a wide shot of the town itself is seen, and in the far left you see this bank building, and then across the street you see three buildings, one with a protruding window and the second with a window, three windows, a large window in the middle and two windows on the side.
Enough to keep my heart from tightening, to keep me from forgetting that this was the town where my brother had died, the same town my parents fled in fear and grief when I was 9. The same, only the faces had changed.
And that was shot directly here.
When I was 9, the same, only the faces had changed.
Now, the posts have changed since 1991, but you have to wonder if at one time this post was the post where those Converse shoes were dangling during the parade. And I love this kid right here, who clearly should not be looking at the camera, because that is the actor. This kid is an extra. Pay attention, kid. And from what I can tell from this screenshot, the building that Tim Matheson is standing in front of during the parade was the Liberty Antique Store. And judging by the window and the middle window, this is said building. So the old Liberty Antique sign would have been about right there. So when Robert Russler's character was tormenting Jim at the parade, he would have been standing right here on the steps of the courthouse. And we can tell because of the architecture to the right of him. Robert Russler would have been standing approximately right here, lighting his cigarette, taunting Jim Norman with that piece of architecture right next to him. Man, that is fun to imagine. And directly in front of me would be the depository where Jim ran into Kate on one of his nightly walks. Tim Matheson would have ran right down the sidewalk here and stopped right here with that depository directly behind him. And this depository still exists to this day. So there you have the filming locations for the 1991 film. Sometimes they come back from historic downtown Liberty, Missouri. Thank you for hanging with me today. Take care, be safe, never stop having fun, and I I'll talk to you soon.